Meanwhile, Chong Siab, the boss of a money-lending organization, gets some interesting news. His assistant, Kim Yong-gu, confirms that Dojin has entered the rift. Chong Siab sneers and asks about the chances of a normal person surviving in there. Yong-gu replies that for a regular human, the odds are less than 1%. A wicked smile spreads across Chong Shob's face. He scoffs, saying Dojin is no normal human. He's the guy who put his men in the hospital, wrapped in bandages for weeks. He demands to know the survival chances for someone that powerful. Yong-gu explains it all depends on the hero's level, making it impossible to say for sure without more details. Chong Siab, however, believes that fighting skills and survival skills are two completely different things, and inside the rift, it's a whole new ballgame. His mind is already spinning with a dirty plan. If Dojin doesn't make it back, he'll sell his grandmother and sister Union's body parts. And if Dojin does return, he'll frame him for money laundering. What a scumbag! Outside the rift, the situation has become a media circus. The purple gate that opened in Mappo 28 days ago is still active, and the world is stunned. Reporters have swarmed Dojin's house, and the Hero Association has sealed off the entire area. Dojin's identity has been kept a secret, causing a major stir within the association. Most people assume Dojin is just a normal guy who's already dead inside the rift. But Bang Singhu, an angry-looking hero, is furious at this recklessness. He believes Dojin foolishly jumped into the rift out of greed. If Dojin dies, the rift monsters will build a hub, and the entire city of Seoul will be destroyed. However, Kim Hanwoo, a cool-headed and intelligent blue-haired hero, defends Dojin's actions. He points out that Dojin did it to save his sister, Union, and that it was an act of courage. Bang Singhu dismisses this as nonsense, insisting it was pure greed, not bravery. The Hero Association issues a level 1 monster wave warning. But does anyone have a clue about Dojin's true power? Nope. The world sees him as an ordinary person, while inside the rift, he's making waves. The world tree is glowing with mana, as Dojin trains with intense focus. His entire body is now cloaked in flame mana. He's absorbed so much power from the firestones that he can control the flames at will. As a side effect, his resistance to fire has skyrocketed. He compares his current power to his old self, from his past life. In the fire attribute, he has now surpassed even his former strength. He gently embraces the world tree, fondly remembering the old days. This tree has always been his partner, and he thanks it from the bottom of his heart. He fashions a small bag from the tree's leaves to carry the stones. As he collects them, he realizes he might never see this tree again. He makes a solemn promise. If the world tree is ever in danger, he will give his life to protect it. Later that night, Dojin emerges from the rift, perfectly fit and fine. The area is deserted. Everyone assumes he died, and that a monster wave could erupt at any moment. But then, he senses a powerful presence nearby. He follows the strong auras of two individuals, and finds Kim Hanwoo and Bang Singhu from their outfits. He can tell they're from the Hero Association. Getting caught would be a problem. Thinking fast, Dojin creates a flame ball and launches it into the air. The ball strikes a nearby building, causing a massive explosion. Both agents are instantly alerted and rush toward the blast. Bang! Singhu shouts, "What is this spectacle?" Dojin is quite impressed with the accuracy of his own flame power. He thinks of his old friend Thus, who was the strongest fire mage on the continent in his previous life. He wonders if Thus would have been impressed by his current power. Just then, Kim Hanwoo's senses alert him to the rift. Before their eyes, the mist surrounding the rift vanishes completely. The connection between the rift and the world has been severed. Both heroes are shocked and run off in different directions to investigate. With the coast clear, Dojin quietly slips away, moving on to his next destination. The next morning, news channels across the city were in an uproar. On every TV, every public billboard, the same breaking story was running. The rift that had appeared months ago, the very one that two heroes had entered 30 days prior, had mysteriously disappeared. They were presumed dead. The Hero Association's fears of a monster wave had been proven wrong, but this was a rare, unprecedented phenomenon. Never before had a rift simply vanished on its own. And that wasn't all. Just before it disappeared, the junkyard where it was located had been completely incinerated. Naturally, people assumed Dojin was dead. But Dojin blending into the crowds, hoodie-clad listened silently to the chatter. Some showed sympathy for the poor boy who had lost his life. Others were furious, blaming him for the potential devastation a monster wave could have caused in Seoul. A few even said it was good that he died. But for the Dojin, the news of the rift's disappearance was a crushing blow. He was devastated, realizing he could no longer find their way back to their world. With heavy hearts, he headed straight for the HCS Capitol building, the office of Chung Si. Inside, Chung Seop's goons were celebrating what they thought was Dojin's death. One of them, taking a drag from his cigarette, sneered. "Now we can finally get our hands on that bastard Dojin's grandma and his little sister." Another one chimed in. "Yeah, our boss isn't just some ordinary guy. If he can't find their money, he'll sell the old woman's skin. And as for the little sister, we'll let her grow up a bit, then find other uses for her." As they continued their vile conversation, a familiar voice echoed through the room. "Hey, you lowlifes, call your boss." The scene cuts. Outside the office, a man steps out of a luxury car, running a hand through his hair as he strides confidently forward, his secretary trailing behind him. This was Chung Seopi, the boss of those goons. He chuckled to himself. "That bastard Dojin is finally dead. Now I can finally get some sleep." His assistant, Kim Young-gu, was checking his schedule. "Sir, you have one appointment left for today. Lunch with CEO back." A grin spread across Chung Seop's face. "Really? Great. Also, tell Madam Kong I'll be seeing her tonight. And make sure to have some new girls ready." He climbed the stairs and entered the building, but the sight that greeted him stopped him dead in his tracks. His men were strewn across the floor like broken toys. Blood splattered everywhere. And the cause of it all was the very person he thought was dead. Dojin. He was standing right in front of him. A chilling emptiness in his eyes that reflected Jung's own impending doom. In a voice colder than ice, Dojin said, "Crawl to me, like a dog." Chung Seop trembled. Dojin casually propped his feet up on Jung's own desk, sat down like he owned the place, and repeated his order. Without a moment's hesitation, Chung Seop got on all fours and crawled like a pathetic dog. Dojin's brutal side fully emerged. "Now bark," he commanded, intending to humiliate him, just as Chung had once humiliated others. The sound of a man barking echoed throughout the office. Dojin looked down at him with pure disgust. "People like you look loyal on the outside, but you stab people in the back the first chance you get. You're not the first dog I've had to deal with, Chung Seop. I've seen millions, just like you." Chung Seop pleaded, promising to obey every order, like a loyal dog. But all he got in return was a vicious slap from Dojin that filled his mouth with blood. Dojin then turned his attention to Kim Yang-gu. "Don't work for this lowlife anymore," he suggested. "Become the new boss of this company." He gave Yang-gu permission to dispose of Chung Seopi, but Yang-gu was terrified. "Sir Chung has connections with powerful people. If we kill him, the situation will get much worse." "I'm sorry," Dojin scoffed. "You guys kill people every day. You're experts at chopping them up, stuffing them in drums, and dumping them in the sea. So just do the same thing with him." He then threatened the entire group. "If you don't obey my orders, I'll turn all of you into a feast for the monsters at the gate." Hearing this, everyone lunged at Chung Seop. He begged for his life, promising his eternal servitude. For a moment, Dojin was conflicted. He could end all his problems by simply killing Chung. But this new Dojin wasn't the same as the old, ruthless one. He had softened. He decided to give him one last chance. Chung reached out to shake Dojin's hand, his heart filled with seething jealousy. "This is your last chance," Dojin said, in that same cool voice. As their hands touched, a flame erupted, engulfing Jung's hand. His screams echoed as his hand turned to ash. Dojin ignored him and turned to leave. As he walked away, he gave one final warning. "If you ever come near my family again, I will hunt every single one of you down. From now on, their safety is your responsibility. If they get so much as a scratch, consider it your last day on Earth." Bung-seung is now searching for a new home for his family. That very night, he discovers that Kim Yang-gu had hidden his grandmother and sister, Union, in a random hotel during the rift. Kim Yang-gu apologizes, explaining that the hotel is under their company's control and was the safest option. After 2 lifetimes, Dojin finally wanted to meet his family. He had no energy left to argue with him. As he enters the room, his grandmother hugs him with tears in her eyes. Union climbs on top of him, embracing him tightly. Seeing their happiness brings a smile to Dojin's face. Officially, the SEO couple who had accompanied him into the rift had simply disappeared. Both the government and the Hero Association wrongly declared them deceased. Everyone considered it old news. But in reality, they were eating burgers at a local McDonald's. No one would believe Union was alive. Coming out of a solo rift mission is nearly impossible. And if the media found out, it would be difficult for him to live a peaceful life. Watching Union happily devour fast food makes his heart feel lighter. For him, his sister's happiness is a treasure. Union was ecstatic that they were moving to a new, better area. Dojin tells her that, like other children, she will go to kindergarten and then elementary school next year. But as soon as she hears the word school, Union's mood sours. Seeing this, Dojin gets tense. Slaying monsters is easy, but convincing a child is a tough task. Union says other kids taunt her because she doesn't have a mom and dad. Hearing this breaks Dojin's heart. His own mom had been killed, and even with a father alive, they were both like orphans. He promises her, "You won't have to live with those rude children. You won't go to kindergarten." Union is overjoyed to hear this. But in his mind, Dojin makes a plan. He will send Union to one of the top private schools where no one can bother her. While enjoying her meal at McDonald's, Union asks, "Brother, do you work as a hero?" Dojin asks back, "Do you like hero brothers?" With a sad heart, Union says no. Heroes are cool, but they fight dangerous monsters. Sometimes they even die. "I want you to stay with me always." Hearing this saddens Dojin, but he also feels happy in his heart. For the first time, a man who had spent his entire life in bloodshed felt cared for. In the old world, he was the last person alive who had fought a war against the monsters. Now, in this new world, he has a second chance to live. He thinks, maybe here, I can live a happy life with them. The scene shifts to Seoul City. People are busy with their daily routines. Dojin is walking through the crowd, and on his way, he reached their favorite shop, the Hero Complex. The cashier standing at the counter greets them as he enters. But when he sees his face, he gets scared. Sweat starts pouring from his face. The manager next to him was reading a newspaper. He folds it and speaks to the Dojin, normally, but with mild anger. He says, "You're the one who scared the cashier and forced him to buy low-grade crystals. I was gone for a while, and you've already stooped to bullying." Dojin ignores him and says it's good that the manager himself is present today. "My magic crystals deal will happen soon. I was looking for a man just like you." He carelessly unloads his backpack and throws it on the floor. The manager assumes that once again, that you have brought a pile of low-grade crystals. Without even looking at the crystals, he says directly to him, "I don't want to trade with you. Get out of here quickly." Dojin asks again, "You really don't want to do this deal?" The manager replies, "Don't you understand? Working on a 1% commission, we lose a lot. Any smart trader like me won't work for such a low profit." He tells them to pick up their stuff and get out, or there will be trouble. The manager was just trying to drive them away. Dojin replies, "Not doing business with me will be the biggest mistake of your life. A mistake you will always regret." But the manager refuses. He says, "What do you know about the gate center? It deducts a 5% commission, and on top of that, we have to pay some taxes. Anyway, if I'm not going to deal with you, what's the point of explaining all this?" He gives a final warning to Dojin. "If you don't go, it won't be good." Hearing this, Dojin kicks the backpack in anger, and all the stones scatter stylishly across the floor. Seeing this, both the manager and the worker are stunned, because among those magic stones, there was also a hero stone. They immediately realize the quality of those stones. This dirty little bag was actually full of the best magic crystals, like the hero stone. This hero magic stone is a prized treasure that can't be bought with money. It's sold in special auctions, where even guessing the price is difficult. These crystals aren't used normally. They're used to make rare and dangerous items. A long time ago, a famous maximal drug lord named Detman was using magic crystals to create a new age drug. One night, due to an accident in the laboratory, the power of these stones was revealed. The hero magic crystal turned Karsman into a powerful hero. Since then, crystals have been used to make heroes powerful and increase their mana. And because of this, they became precious, placed at the level of an ultra-high-end product. Dojin knows how precious this thing is, but he had no idea just how much premium stuff he had. Both men's eyes were still glued to that hero crystal. To show off his power, Dojin orders them, "Idiots. Pack my luggage back up." He wants to get out of there. The manager's rude style quickly changes into a very sweet and welcoming one. He takes Dojin to the VIP seats and offers him a drink, while his cashier begins to polish the crystals. Dojin is happy to see that he's now getting VIP treatment. A moment ago, these people were trying to drive him away, and now he's sipping a cold drink. Dojin demands full payment and a commission of just 0.5%. The manager says, 0.5%. That's way too low. Dojin makes a face and says, "Fine. I can't deal with it if you don't want to." The manager panics and says, "Stop. Wait, I didn't mean that." He gets on his knees and apologizes to Dojin for all his rude behavior. Dojin speaks in a cold tone, "I'm tired of listening to this chatter. Tell me, do you agree to the rate or not?" The receptionist, looking at Dojin, thinks, "This guy is so conservative. He doesn't have a single bit of manners." Here, the manager's face is sweating. He was silent, but his mind was racing with calculations, lost in thought. Dojin's patience runs out, and without wasting any more time, he gets up and starts to leave. Seeing Dojin go, the manager runs after him and offers a commission rate of 9%, saying, "This is our final limit. Otherwise, we'll suffer a huge loss." Dojin says directly, "Don't make the deal, there will be no loss." The manager goes to 8%. Then 7, 6, 5, and so on, finally agreeing to 1%. The receptionist was watching all of this, and it reminded him of what had happened to him earlier. Dojin concedes at 1%, but he gives the manager a final warning. If he ever acts rudely with him again, the result will be bad. The manager sits on the ground, cursing himself. In his mind, he wanted to scream and was cursing Dojin. As Dojin is leaving, he says, "By the way, I have 7 more bags of crystals like this." The manager and the receptionist are hit with a major shock. The manager wastes no time and tells the receptionist to bring the contract paper. Within a few minutes, 67 billion won is transferred to Dojin's bank account. Seeing this, Dojin was very happy that he now had so much money. But the money was still very little. He needed to buy a house worth 110 billion won, where Grandma and Union could live happily and safely. But the main problem was that the gates he could access only had low-grade and very low magic crystals. If he wanted to complete his goal, he had to go to the Rift Zone, but it wasn't possible for him to go into the Rift Zone freely. Just then, a message comes on his phone from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It said that all flights to the UK have been delayed or rescheduled because a Rift Zone has appeared in the south region of the UK, from where a wave of monsters has started. This message was sent keeping everyone's safety in mind. Dojin puts his phone away and says, "This is pathetic. A whole nation can't clear one rift together. Those who don't have power just make excuses like this. I wish there was a country in my life where I could clear this rift alone, without any restrictions. Whether it's in my country or another." Speaking just like that, he walks away. The scene shifts to Korea City, where a helicopter descends. Out steps Netvank, the founder of the Hero Association and the director of the World Hero Federation. The atmosphere is thick with fear. A rift, a gateway for monsters, has vanished on its own. This has never happened before. Netvank is furious. Something this big happened in his territory, and his best people have found 0 clues. His secretary reports that the site is clean, no trace of what happened. She tries to offer some perspective, suggesting that this spontaneous disappearance is a sign of an even bigger disaster on the horizon. "It would have been better if it was just a monster wave," she says. "At least we wouldn't have this tension of the unknown." Netvank explodes. How can she say that? He's relieved that the rift disappeared without causing any damage. A monster wave would have been catastrophic. But he can't shake the fear that the rift might reopen. The secretary quickly apologizes. We learn more about Netvank. He's one of the world's top 100 most respected heroes. His only goal is to keep people safe. It's said that if he ever ran for office, he'd win by the largest margin in history, enough to land him in the Guinness World Records, but he has no interest in politics. His mission is singular: save his people. His immediate plan is to buy up all the nearby properties, paying well above market price, and relocate everyone to a safer place. He believes it's better to move away from danger than to lose loved ones. But Netvank is deeply troubled. This isn't just happening in Korea. Similar rifts are appearing in different parts of the world. His secretary updates him. The US and China have managed to clear their zones, but the UK is in trouble. The heroes sent to clear the rift there have gone silent. Just then, an emergency alert flashes from the World Hero Federation. The UK heroes have failed. A massive monster wave has been unleashed. The scene changes to a bustling restaurant. Meat sizzles on a grill, and Union's mouth is watering. It's been so long since she's had a good meal. The waiter brings more dishes. Dojin has brought his family for a celebratory feast. Grandma gasps at the menu prices. Son, 2,500 won for 100 grams of meat. Isn't that too expensive? Dojin just smiles. Grandma, don't worry about the money. Eat as much as you want. I made a huge profit this time. Union takes her first bite of meat, and her eyes light up. She starts dancing with joy. It's delicious. But Grandma is still tense. Dojin keeps ordering, piling the table with ribeye, strip loin, and skirt steak. The waiter asks if they need anything else. Dojin says no, but seeing the mountain of food, Grandma's anxiety only grows. Son, didn't you order way too much? Dojin reassures her. Grandma, why are you so worried? I told you, eat as much as you like. Starting today, we don't have to worry about money. Seeing her grandmother's stressed face, Union picks up a piece of meat. Try this, Grandma. It's really tasty. Seeing her granddaughter's bright smiling face, Grandma can't resist. She takes a bite, and her face instantly brightens. Soon, she's enjoying the meal just as much as Union. After a while, a figure emerges from the crowd, gliding towards their table. Everyone in the restaurant turns to stare. It's Giant, Korea's 4th S-rank hero. All eyes are on her. She calls out to Dojin, who turns around, still chewing. Can I talk to you for a moment? She asks. You're the hero who... But Dojin cuts her off, his tone arrogant. Can't you see I'm having dinner with my family right now? If you have something to say, come back after I'm finished. Giant is stunned. This is the first time she's ever approached a man like this, and he just dismissed her. She's a famous hero, an idol, considered one of the most beautiful women in the world. Anger flashes in her eyes, but she forces herself to stay calm. Okay, I'll wait. She walks over to the waiting area and sits down, wondering if this guy is for real or just acting tough. The whispers start around the restaurant. Isn't that the S-rank hero, Giant? She's really one of the top 10 most beautiful women in the world. Who could she possibly be waiting for? Giant starts getting annoyed. Her mind races. This is the guy who entered that rift 2 months ago, and was presumed dead by everyone when it vanished. How did he clear it alone? He must have awakened some new power. And now he's just sitting here, eating with his family. There's something different about him, a sharpness in his eyes that gives her a strange feeling. But she can't believe it. How could a guy reach S-rank power in just 2 months? Even a wealthy oil tycoon, spending a fortune on enhancement stones, took 5 months to reach S-rank. This guy couldn't have done it alone. Giant is convinced Dojin must have some special, hidden power. Soon, Dojin, Grandma, and Union have finished their meal, their stomachs full, and their spirits high. They happily head for the exit. Giant gets up, ready to talk to Dojin, but his good day is about to end. Standing at the gate is a familiar face that makes Dojin's mood plummet. It's the infamous gangster, Kang Cho-woo, the same man who, bribed by Dojin's stepmother, tricked him into entering that B-rank gate. Seeing Dojin, Kang Cho-woo grins. So, the little worm who escaped that gate came back after all. But she won't escape from my hands this time. Giant is shocked. How did this thug get here? She knows he's nothing on his own, but she also knows who's pulling his strings. The restaurant goes silent. Kang Cho-woo is seething, ready to kill Dojin. Just then, Giant steps in from behind. Hey, you said you had something urgent to do, right? We should get going. Kong Cholu is surprised to see her. What is she doing here? Dojin understands immediately that she's trying to help him. The old Dojin would have taken the out and run. But this is a new Dojin. He's not running from anyone anymore. He turns to Giant. Take my family home in a taxi. I have some business to finish here. Giant is stunned. She has no other excuse to save him. Dojin is standing his ground, ready to settle the score with the man who tried to kill him. And Kong Cholu has been waiting for this chance to finish the job. Dos Kong Cholu, compete Dojin. To know what happened next, stay tuned. If you like this, and please like this video, and subscribe the channel. And let me know your opinion about this in comments.